Morning everybody, well up nice and early as I expected, woke up at 20 to 6 and I'm just standing on the balcony on the hut and there's the river down there anyway, so you know, we'll get going, get some breakfast and bridge to nowhere today, probably going to be my highlight. I'll show you what it's like when I get there. See ya. Well, looks like the G team are the early birds. All the canoes still tied up here. So this is Tieke Marae, the red one here, number one. I'll just go and, I think he's already untied that. Oh no, he hasn't. I'll go and untie that. We've got to lift it down into the water and then we'll put the barrels in. It's easier to lift it without all our barrels in. And we'll get going shortly. See ya. Just a couple of tents up there. Tim's having a bit of a play around, getting used to steering. He's skipper today. And I'm the engine. So we won't be going very fast. Well, there we go everybody. Tim's done his first two rapids and we're still dry. There we go. No misty rain today. I think it gets to 25 or 26 degrees. So everybody's either slip, slop, slapping, or I'll have my sun hat all the way on with my sunnies today, I think. But yeah, it's gonna be nice to see it in the sunlight. Like yesterday, it was actually pretty cool paddling in the mist. Anyway, we'll keep pushing on. We'll see what it's like today. See ya. Little tributary up the side. Well, I'm no river expert, but just looking at those banks, you can see the bit just down the bottom there, there's just no growth on it at all. And I imagine that's probably a normal river level. So we're a good, 3 or 4 feet below at the moment. So we have got low river levels, and I guess some people think, yeah, more rapids and like it, and other people think, oh no, probably depends how good you are in a canoe. But yeah, I'm not going to jinx this. So far so good, but yeah, we're still relatively novice. Yes, it looks like a little bit of a tributary going up there too. Oh god, look at all the driftwood up there. This would be pretty impressive when it was really raining. You can see there. I'll try and zoom in on them. You can see all the vertical sections here where the waterfalls come down. Another one down here. Another one further along. It'd be pretty good if it was heavy rain, but I'd rather see it like this. There. Well, I just jumped out for a quick bathroom stop, but it's deceiving. This was just a cruisy, relaxing bit down the river. When you hop out and look at it, you see how it is just constantly flowing. And if you missed this campsite, the next one we hop out at's near Bridge to Nowhere. But man, they're just vertical cliffs. There's nowhere to get out. So yeah, I don't know what happened if you fell out here. Actually, you'd have to try and get yourself tipped up the right way and bail and get back in and while you're on the water. Anyway, I'll wander down. I'm going to have a little snack. See ya. So this is the start point to walk into the bridge to nowhere. Johnny and Viv have already been there, and Yo-Hi and the other lady from America, Amy, have decided to push on. They don't want to see the bridge, but yeah, this is actually 5th time lucky for me to actually go and see this bridge, so I'm absolutely determined. So Tim and I are going to tie the boat up here and go and find this bridge. I'll show you what it's like. See ya. Alright, so we're just on the landing to bridge to nowhere. Tim and I, that's our canoe there closest to the bank. So I sort of jumped out on the south end there. I walked up and pulled it on up and just tethered it on down here. So we'll go on and see what this bridge to nowhere looks like. Apparently it's a bit underwhelming, but we'll go in and see for ourselves. Show you as I go. Bye. So it's quite a nice walk into the bridge to nowhere, and I hopped out of the canoe and it was just too hard to get my actual hiking boots. So I'm just walking along in hiking sandals, and because it's such a good attraction, you know, there's all sorts of people arriving on jet boat who don't have hiking footwear and that. So it's more a walking path in than a hiking path. Very easy, but yeah, beautiful bush, and we'll mustn't be that far from this bridge now. I'll keep going. Okay, so this is the slip they're talking about, and yeah, there's all sorts of information out there. Some people saying it's closed, some saying it's not, but they obviously don't want to mess around and hang around here too long. You can see the rockets come down here, and Doc have done a pretty good job, I reckon, quickly doing what they have to get this open again. So there we go. It's only a short section. Anyway, back on the original track again. Well, this is actually my 5th attempt to see the bridge to nowhere. When I was young, I booked or my parents booked a jet boat ride up here from Wanganui to see the bridge to nowhere, and halfway up the river, the jet boat broke down, so we never made it. We had to get rescued. And then I was a little older, I actually booked myself on the Wanganui River kayak, and I can't remember, it was something work related, but all of a sudden something popped up and I just couldn't do it. So I cancelled and booked again a little later on, and a couple of days before I was due to leave, my grandfather sadly passed away. So that was the 3rd attempt. Then when I lived in Wanganui, one of my flatmates, Hayden, was mad on jet boats, and a whole group of them all turned around, decided they're coming up to the bridge to nowhere in their jet boats. So I jumped in the jet boat, not with my flatmate Hayden. They all hopped out at the landing back there, started walking into the bridge to nowhere, and I thought the bridge actually went over the main river, not the tributary. And the guy I was with, he was going further up the river. So I said, okay, I want to see this bridge. So I stayed in with him and went further up the river without realising it's actually over the tributary, and I missed it for the 4th time. So this is actually my 5th attempt. And I've just made it just now, so I'm going to spin the camera around. After 5 goes, I'm finally going to walk on the bridge to nowhere. And there it is. So never go up. Keep going till you see what you want to see in life. I'll wander out on it and I'll take a photo out there. So you look at the history of this bridge. And New Zealand soldiers came back from World War I, and they were gifted this land to clear and make a life farming. And this bridge was part of that development on a road that was meant to link this through to Radahi, and later on through to Stafford, which is over by Mount Taranaki, right out on the west coast of New Zealand, and it just never happened. They were trying to build the road, and you can see the cliffs over here anyway. There's cliffs everywhere in this region, and it kept collapsing on the road, but it's almost criminal. You sort of spare a thought for our World War I soldiers. They've lost half of their friends, half their buddies. They've been through hell. They come back, and they get gifted terrain like this to turn into farmland, and they just couldn't make it happen. There was only 2 or 3 that wanted to try, and then they had to give in when they finally stopped promising the road. So, man, they were tough people in their lives. They did so much. They went through a war and then got gifted this, and it failed, and they pretty much probably finished life, most of them, with nothing. Pretty sad story, really. Anyway, after all of that, apparently this is one of the most visited places in the Wanganui National Park. So at least I've ticked the bucket list now, and I've done it. I'll head back to my canoe now, and let's get to our accommodation tonight. See you soon. Well, we've got 5k to go, and a couple of jet boats went past us. Now we're downstream of the bridge to nowhere, had to be expected. They don't give you a lot of time to react, and they leave quite a big wait, but we got through that okay. At least we didn't fall in. So it'll take us about another hour, I think, and the accommodation's on the left. So I'll show you what that's like when we get there. But yeah, much the same. Quite steep cliffs coming into the river, but not as steep as up above Bridge to Nowhere. They're almost vertical here. It's just opening up a little bit now. Even get a bit of a breeze up the river every now and then, so a bit harder pedalling into the breeze. Anyway, we'll push on. I'll show you as we go. Bye. Far out, there must be some wild pigs around here. Just look at all the pig rooting on this grassy bank. So just starting to see the first few signs of civilization. There's some pine trees up here, only a few, but just the height of the cliffs is dropping down. The land's getting far more forgiving. 2 more jet boats have gone the other way past us, so they're going to be coming back, so we'll have to keep our ears peeled so we can hear them and get ready. They actually can go past pretty quick when there's one person in them, and they don't leave much of a wake, but when they load them up with people, it leaves quite a big wake, so that'll be what we get when they come back down the river. Anyway, I can hear another little rapid up here, so we'll suss that out, and I think we'll be about just under 2k now to our accommodation, so not long now. So there's our sign, 200 metres, Tieke Marae. So we're going to pull up just on the left down here. Once we get around this corner, you can actually see one of the yellow jet boats down there as well, sort of moored down here. Zoom in on it. Anyway, we'll go down there and get tethered, and I think we can see our first sort of signs of animals and life, so farm animals. There's a bit of a house up here. So yeah, definitely getting to more civilization now. A bit of pasture there with some sheep or something, or cows. Can't see yet because we're too far away. Anyway, we'll check in again soon. See ya. Alright, we've arrived at our camp, and this is actually pretty organised. A little firewood shelter, little table and shelter over there for the people who are camping, and heaps of room as you come up from the river to chuck your tents and that up. You see a few people with tents over there, a couple of toilets over here. This is like a staff quarters, and then you come into here. This is the main hut, and it's got a separate cooking and sleeping area in it, which is pretty good, not mixed together. Another nice deck where everyone can sit outside, actually an area designated to put all the barrels. We were tripping over them yesterday. And there's our little kitchen area all in here. And we wander over here, and there's actually 2 separate bunk rooms. So we jump in here and have a little sleep, and you get all this area out here to put all your stuff as well. So heaps of hooks here to hang up life jackets and so forth, and another bunk room in there. And if we come out the front here, we've got the actual marae as well. There's a bit of a carving out the front here, bit of scaffold around that at the moment. Hopefully it's all good. And there's a little marae building as well. And the carving looks pretty cool. Must be a bit unstable there. They've actually got some straps on it holding it up. Anyway, there we go. So all in all, pretty good day. And obviously for me, as I explained, 5th time lucky. I finally made it to the Bridge to Nowhere. Thank goodness for that. So glad I did it. And it was actually nice it was actually pretty hot on the river today, and midday when I made the Bridge to Nowhere, the sun was straight up in the sky shining down into the river. So it was nice to walk in the tree canopy and just get a break from the heat for a little while. Tim and I, we did get stuck on a log, and we managed to wedge our way off it in the end, so without falling in. Day 2, still haven't been in the river. That's good news. Okay, we'll catch up, and I'll show you what it's like tomorrow. If there's anything interesting happens tonight, I'll show you that as well. See ya.